Good afternoon. Today is June 28th, 2024. Just wanted to do a real quick walk down to the Muscadine vines. Let's see. Here we have Carlos, and it's at a really good crop. Carlos is kind of known for that. I mean, it really put the grapes on. I have to say, I'm quite impressed with it. So looking good all the way down the vine. Let's see here, late fry did pretty well too. I actually pulled, because late fry gets pretty big, I actually pulled a few handfuls of clusters off this vine just because it's a third year and I didn't want to stress it out too much. But it's definitely got the grapes on it all up and down the whole vine. Looking very good. We're probably, in my location, we're probably about a month and a half away from starting to harvest the early varieties. So usually tail end of July, beginning of August, and throughout August and most of September is when muscadines ripen here. Really August and September, to be truth be told. But all right, let's see. Going down here, this is Ruby Crisp. Ruby Crisp, I was a little bit disappointed in the growth. It grew up to the wire and down the wire, as you can see, last year, but it really hasn't grown very much more this year. And it keeps putting out suckers, but it seems like every time it puts out a sucker, a bug bites it, or black rot gets it, or something stops it. But you can see it's trying there. It's just, anyway. But I did let it set about 4 or 5 grapes, or I guess like 8 or 9 grapes on it, just because I really want to try this variety. I've heard nothing but good things about it. This is Triumph. Triumph doing well. Second year. That, a fair number of berries. There's probably about a half gallon total. But it's really putting the growth on now. It's really doing well. Okay, this is Darlene. Third year Darlene. And it's actually set, again, like the others, an okay crop. Not great, not terrible. Especially here towards the base of the vine. Set a pretty good little crop. Had a lot of rain early in the year, so black rot was a really big problem. But it's finally going away, and we're having a lot more dry days now. So you can see more grapes there. It's been kind of hot lately, but we've had a handful of days that have been really hot, but it's been, today is pretty tolerable. You got one section of the vine right here that never put out any laterals. I don't know what the deal is with that. Hopefully it does soon. Okay, this is Majesty. I'm pretty convinced I'm going to pull Majesty next year. It's just, this is its third year, and it didn't even put out bloom clusters. It put out about a foot of growth and stopped. So it's a really large variety, but I'm just not interested in it very much anymore. So every other variety, even Darlene has by its third year tried to put something out. So, and you can see I'm watering. I don't have irrigation set up yet in my vineyard. It's coming. I just, the funds, I got to get better before I install drip irrigation, but I'm doing it this way. Dripping it from the water hose, moving it to another vine every single hour. And I do know that you can poke holes in a 5-gallon bucket at the base of a plant, fill it with water, and it does the same thing, but you still have to make trips plant to plant out here. So anyway, this is Ison. Doing well. Made it up to the wire. It's going down the wire both directions, so I'm real happy with that. This is Southland. It's had a few little berries on it. I'm pretty happy with that. So it's just about filled out the trellis in both directions. Had a rabbit or something, or some animal was messing with the base of it. That's why that's there. This is Janet. Headed down the wire in both directions. Looking pretty good. This is Pam. And it's got a bunch of different suckers trying to grow up to the string, but none of them are dominating the other ones, even when I prune them back and take the tips out. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay, early fry. Early fry got stunted a little bit, but it's coming on back. A little bit of black rot got it, but it's just about to the wire now. This is a Dixieland. My fry that I had planted here died, and I was going to replace it with a fry, but a fellow friend on the Facebook growers group actually told me about Dixieland. He told me it's as big as fry, looks like fry, tastes almost identical to fry, is as productive as fry, but it's self-fertile. It's just got a wet scar, so we're going to try it. It's a hard variety to find too, Dixieland. So he sent me a cutting and it rooted. So we're going to try Dixieland and see how well it does. This is Supreme. Didn't set any fruit this year. It struggled with black rot really badly, but it's coming through now. It's finally coming on out and putting some good growth on. So I tell you, I did spray a lot of these plants with Epsom salt a couple weeks ago too, and that really helped. I think I had a magnesium deficiency to some extent. This is Noble. It's most of the way down the wire in both directions. It looks really healthy, and it's got a couple clusters on it. So I already know what Noble tastes like and the quality is like, so I'm not really, I mean, it don't bother me if I get to taste it or not. This is Lane. Lane's finally growing. It is put on very little growth. This is a 3rd year Lane, and it's finally growing pretty well. I'm putting some good growth side laterals on, so. And it did actually set more fruit than this, but I pulled a lot of them off, a lot of clusters off, because it just don't have the vine vigor in the leaves to support too much more fruit than this. Plus, it's still a 3rd year, so. Anyway, we got some fruit on it. Trying to set more berries. I'll be pulling that off because it's not going to have time to make. This is Hall. Again, looked like crap, like some of the others looked like crap about a month ago. Now it looks fantastic. Since it quit raining, black rot's going away, and I sprayed it with Epsom salt. And there's a fair little crop of grapes in there. Not bad. Okay, Black Beauty. It's pulling out of its struggle. And it actually, for such a vine with no leaves on it and struggling so badly, it actually set me a couple clusters of Black Beauty its 2nd year. Black Beauty berries, so I'm looking forward to trying that. And I finally have a sucker that looks like it's going to go that way, so we can hopefully start filling in the trellis there. Yep, this is Sugargate, 2nd year Sugargate, and it put a really good crop on. For a variety that's such a low producer, man, it really put the grapes on this year. I hesitate to say this, but it's got probably the heaviest crop of, except Carlos, Late Fry, and Polk, it's probably got the 4th heaviest crop of anything out here. I mean, all up and down the vine, we got fruit. It's not even fully filled in the trellis yet either. It's still got a few feet to go that way. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one's, I hear, is a really, really good one. Okay, last two. Summit. Summit made it all the way down the wire in this direction. You can see my little marker right there. I'm just waiting on it to finish going down the wire in that direction. And I thought it wasn't going to produce anything this year, but then, see if I can find them. I had some, oh, here they are. I don't know if you can see that. Little bloom, pre-bloom clusters, so it might actually bloom this year. Might put some late, well, I'll probably pull them off, but it's going to try to bloom anyway. And last but certainly not least is Polk, 3rd year Polk. Same thing, it put a really good crop on. Because it's a 3rd year vine and it's a really large fruit, I did pull quite a few fruits off. So I really don't want to stress the vine in its 3rd year. I'm just gonna let it set these, probably about 2 gallons of fruit, and call that good, because I don't want to stress it at all. So anyway, that's just a quick update on the vineyard. Until next time.